You need to hear this right now. Who is ready to bid $15,628,000? This rare USA Jefferson nickels are now at auction. Because this is not normal pocket change anymore. On wheat pennies in circulation, we are exposing something almost nobody is talking about. Coins you are literally spending every single day without even thinking. And today, it's the top 4 most valuable Monticello Jefferson nickels. And these coins, they are hidden wealth. I'm serious. These coins are a silent fortune sitting in your pocket, your drawer, your car. Do not spend these coins. Some tiny detail, something most people completely ignore, can turn an ordinary-looking nickel into a life-changing opportunity. Collectors are fighting for these coins behind closed doors. Quiet auctions, aggressive bidding, real money moving fast. And here's the warning. You could already have one and lose it today. So check your pocket now. Stay with me, because every coin we reveal gets rarer, more shocking, and more dangerous to ignore. Now listen closely, because this first coin looks completely harmless. It's a 2000D Monticello Jefferson nickel. Nothing special, right? That's exactly what people think, right before they spend it. But this coin, this exact coin with that strange brown, yellowish tone, those green spots creeping across the surface, this is where everything changes. This is not damage. This is not dirt. This is a silent signal. A hidden fingerprint of time, pressure, and survival. And if you ignore it, you could be throwing away serious money. Back in the year 2000, the United States was stepping into a new millennium. There was economic uncertainty, market transitions, people shifting investments, and the mint was under pressure to produce massive quantities of coinage for a rapidly changing economy. Machines were running hard, faster, hotter, pushing out millions of nickels. And when that happens, small irregularities begin to slip through. Tiny differences in metal reaction, striking pressure, environmental exposure. These things create coins that look off, coins that don't match the rest. And those are the coins collectors quietly hunt. This Jefferson nickel carries the familiar face of Thomas Jefferson on the front, calm, steady, almost too ordinary. But look closer. The surface tells a different story. That brown-yellow tone, mixed with green oxidation spots, that is not random. That is aging interacting with its copper-nickel composition. This coin is made from 75% copper and 25% nickel, and over time, under the right conditions, the copper begins to react. It creates this almost antique, uneven look, something collectors call natural toning. And here's the truth. Original toning like this, it's gold in disguise. Flip it over and you see Monticello. Strong, centered, but again, that same unusual surface pattern. Not polished, not shiny, not cleaned. And that's the key. The moment someone tries to clean this coin, it's over. Value destroyed. Completely. Because collectors don't want perfect, they want original. They want untouched history. They want that quiet story sitting on the surface. Now feel this coin in your hand. It weighs exactly 5.0 grams. The diameter, 21.21 millimeters. Thickness, around 1.95 millimeters. It feels like every other nickel, and that's the danger. Because there is nothing obvious screaming, "I'm valuable." That's why people lose these every single day. And then there's the mint mark, that small D under the year, meaning it was struck in Denver. Millions were made, but not like this. Not with this exact surface, this exact preservation, this exact condition. Very fine condition with original toning. That combination is rare. Extremely rare. Because most of these coins were either spent, damaged, or cleaned by people who had no idea what they were holding. Collectors, they notice everything: the color, the texture, the strike sharpness, the way the light hits the surface. And when a coin like this appears in an auction, things get quiet. Then suddenly, aggressive. Bidders don't hesitate. They move fast. Because they know supply is shrinking. People aren't selling these. They're holding, waiting, watching the value rise. And today, this coin, this exact 2000D nickel with this kind of preserved surface, is reaching up to $70 zeroth. Let that sink in. A coin you could get back as change, worth serious money. This is hidden wealth. This is a silent fortune. This is the kind of coin that changes everything. So listen carefully. Do not spend this coin. Never clean it. Protect that original toning at all costs. If you think you have one, get it professionally graded. That one decision could be the difference between nothing and life-changing wealth. Check every nickel. Look for that unusual color, that antique feel, that quiet signal. Because this is not fiction. This is happening right now. And if you think this coin is shocking, what comes next is even bigger, even rarer, and even more dangerous to ignore. You might want to sit down for this one, because this next coin, it's even more dangerous to ignore. A 1988p Monticello Jefferson nickel, something you've seen 1,000 times, something you've probably spent without thinking. But this one, with that rusty brown tone, those green spots spreading across the surface, this is not just a coin anymore. This is hidden wealth. This is a silent fortune. And if you miss it, you are literally letting serious money slip through your fingers. Back in 1988, the United States was in a period of economic tension and transition. Markets were adjusting after the shockwaves of the late 80s. Industries were shifting, and the U.S. Mint was under pressure to keep up with demand. Philadelphia, marked by that small P, was producing millions of nickels, pushing machines to their limits. And when production gets intense, when speed overtakes precision, something unusual happens. Tiny variations, subtle differences, coins that don't come out exactly the same. Most people ignore them. Collectors don't. At first glance, the front of this coin looks normal. Thomas Jefferson staring forward, clean design, nothing screaming value. But then you notice it, that deep rusty brown blending into green oxidation. That uneven, almost aged surface that feels different under the light. This is not damage. This is not neglect. This is the result of time interacting with its metal composition. 75% copper, 25% nickel, reacting slowly, naturally, over years. And when that process happens just right, it creates something collectors quietly chase: original, untouched toning. Flip it over. Monticello stands there like always. But again, the surface tells a different story. Those green patches, that brown depth, it's like the coin has been frozen in time. And here's the part most people get wrong. They try to clean it. They think they're improving it. But the second that surface is touched, wiped, polished, the value collapses. Gone. Because what collectors want, what they fight for, is originality. Real history. Not something altered. Now hold this coin in your mind. Same weight as every other nickel, 5.0 grams. Same diameter, 21.21 millimeters. Thickness, right around 1.95 millimeters. It feels completely ordinary. That's the trap. That's how these treasures disappear every single day. People don't see it, so they spend it. And that P mint mark, it matters. Philadelphia coins from this era were mass-produced. but very few survived with this exact combination of condition and natural toning. Very fine condition with original surfaces like this, that's where rarity explodes. Because most coins from 1988 were heavily circulated, scratched, cleaned, or destroyed over time. Collectors notice everything. The exact shade of brown, the placement of green oxidation, the sharpness of Jefferson's profile, the untouched texture. These are the details that change everything. And when a coin like this shows up in a real auction, it doesn't stay quiet for long. Bidders move fast. Quiet at first, then aggressive. Because they know supply is shrinking. Fewer and fewer of these are surfacing. And the ones that do, they disappear into private collections. Right now, this 1988p nickel with this kind of preserved look is reaching around $90 hundredth. That is not small money. That is serious money. That is life-changing wealth hiding in something people ignore every single day. This coin is a treasure. This coin is special. This is quiet wealth sitting in plain sight. So hear this clearly. Do not spend this coin. Check every 1988 nickel you see. Look closely at the surface. That rusty brown, those green spots, that untouched look. Never clean it. Never try to fix it. Protect it. And if you think you've found one, get it professionally graded immediately. That one move could unlock a fortune. Because this is not hype. This is not a guess. This is real. And it's happening right now. And if you think this coin is powerful, the next one is on another level completely. Rarer, more shocking, and the kind of coin collectors are quietly desperate to get their hands on. Stay with me, because what comes next changes everything. This is where things start getting serious. Because this next coin, it's not just rare, it's dangerous to ignore. A 1963D Monticello Jefferson nickel, a coin from a year that carries weight, tension, and history, and somehow it's still slipping through people's hands like it's nothing. But if you see those dark green spots spreading across the surface, if you notice that deep, aged look, you are not looking at pocket change anymore. You are staring at hidden wealth. A silent fortune. The kind of coin that can change everything if you catch it in time. 1963 was not just another year in the United States. It was a year filled with pressure, uncertainty, and massive national events. The economy was shifting, the country was under stress, and the U.S. Mint was pushing hard to keep coin production steady during a time of heavy circulation demand. In Denver, marked by that small but powerful D, machines were running non-stop, striking coins at high speed under constant mechanical stress. And when that happens, something subtle but powerful takes place. Variations. Differences. Coins that come out just slightly different. And those differences, they become everything. Look at the front of this coin. Thomas Jefferson appears calm, almost unchanged, but the surface tells a completely different story. Those dark green spots, that deep, almost mysterious toning, it's not random. It's the result of decades of natural chemical interaction with its metal composition, 75% copper and 25% nickel. Over time, the copper reacts, slowly forming that green oxidation that collectors recognize instantly. But here's the key. It has to be original, untouched, natural. That's where the real value lives. Turn the coin over. Monticello stands strong, but again, those same deep green patterns appear. Uneven, organic, real. This is not something you can recreate. This is time itself, leaving a signature on the coin. And the moment someone tries to clean it, even just a little, that signature is erased forever. Value gone. Completely destroyed. Because collectors are not looking for shiny, they are looking for truth. And this coin, in its untouched state, holds that truth. Now imagine holding it. Same familiar feel, 5.0 grams in weight. Diameter exactly 21.21 millimeters. Thickness around 1.95 millimeters. Nothing about it feels different, and that's exactly why people lose these coins every single day. They don't feel the value, they don't see the quiet wealth, and they spend it without a second thought. But that D mint mark, that matters more than you think. Denver coins from 1963 were produced in huge numbers, but surviving examples with this exact condition and natural toning, extremely rare. Because over the years, most were worn down, cleaned, scratched, or completely lost. Finding one in very fine condition, still holding that original dark green surface, that's where the rarity explodes. Collectors notice everything. The depth of the green, the way it spreads across Jefferson's face, the texture under light, the sharpness of the strike. These tiny details, these almost invisible clues, they change everything. And when a coin like this enters an auction, it's not loud, it's quiet at first. Then suddenly, intense. Bidders move fast, aggressively, because they know they may not see another one like it for a long time. And right now, this 1963D nickel with this kind of preserved surface and condition is reaching around $130. Zeroth. That's not just money, that's a life-changing opportunity. That's serious money hidden in something people overlook every day. This coin is a treasure. This coin is special. This is the definition of a silent fortune. So listen very carefully. Do not spend this coin. Check every 1963 nickel you find. Look for that D mint mark. Study the surface. Those dark green spots, that untouched look, that's what matters. Never clean it. Never try to make it look better. You will destroy the value instantly. Protect it. Keep it safe. And if you believe you've found one, get it professionally graded. That step alone could unlock everything. This is not fiction. This is happening right now, in pockets, jars, and drawers all across the country. And if you think this coin is unbelievable, the final one is on a completely different level. Rarer than rare, more shocking than anything we've shown. And the kind of coin that collectors don't just want, they chase it. Stay with me, because the next coin is the one that changes everything forever. Is it, the moment most people never see coming. The final coin, the one that turns everything upside down. A 1939 Monticello Jefferson nickel, no mint mark, no warning, nothing obvious, just sitting there looking ordinary while hiding a silent fortune. And if you miss this, if you spend this, you're not just losing a coin, you're losing a life-changing opportunity. This is hidden wealth in its purest form, and almost nobody is paying attention. 1939. This was the very beginning. The Jefferson nickel had just been introduced the year before, replacing the Buffalo nickel, and the United States was still climbing out of the Great Depression. Money was tight, uncertainty was everywhere, and the U.S. Mint was under pressure to produce a brand new design for a nation trying to stabilize itself. Philadelphia, no mint mark, was leading that charge. Machines were new to this design, dies were still being perfected, and production conditions were far from smooth. That's where the story begins, because early year coins like this carry something different. A kind of raw, unrefined identity that later coins simply don't have. Now, look at the front. Thomas Jefferson. Sharper, more detailed than many later strikes. But what really grabs attention is that green and rusty brown surface. That deep, aged look that feels almost alive. This is not damage. This is not neglect. This is decades of natural toning interacting with its copper-nickel composition. 75% copper, 25% nickel, creating a surface that cannot be faked. That green oxidation, that rusty warmth, it's a signature of time. And collectors, they don't just like it, they hunt for it. Flip it over. Monticello appears bold, structured, almost architectural in its precision. But again, the surface tells the real story. That same green and brown mix spreading across the reverse, untouched, original, uncleaned. This is where people make their biggest mistake. They see the color and think it needs to be fixed. The moment they clean it, even slightly, they erase decades of history. And just like that, the value disappears. Gone. Because originality is everything. That untouched surface is the treasure. Hold this coin in your mind. It weighs 5.0 grams. Diameter is 21.21 millimeters. Thickness around 1.95 millimeters. It feels like every other nickel you've ever held. And that's exactly why people are losing these every single day. There is no alarm, no warning, just a quiet piece of metal carrying serious money. And here's where it gets even more intense. There is no mint mark. That means Philadelphia. But in 1939, that detail becomes powerful. Early production, evolving dies, inconsistent striking pressure, all of this created subtle variations. And when you combine that with an extra fine condition, meaning strong details, minimal wear, and that original toned surface still intact, you get something incredibly rare. Because most of these early nickels didn't survive like this. They were used hard, worn down, damaged or cleaned by people who didn't understand what they had. Collectors notice the smallest things, the sharpness of Jefferson's hair, the clarity of the steps on Monticello, the depth of the toning, the exact shade of green, the balance of that rusty brown. These are the details that trigger quiet but aggressive bidding. When a coin like this appears in an auction, it doesn't stay available for long. Collectors move fast because they know supply is shrinking. Fewer are being found, and the ones that are being locked away. Right now, this 1,939 no mint mark nickel with this level of preservation and natural toning is reaching around $170 zeroth. That's not just value, that's a fortune hiding in plain sight. This coin is a treasure. This coin is special. This is the kind of quiet wealth that changes everything in a single moment. So hear this clearly, do not spend this coin. Check every 1,939 nickel you come across. Look for that missing mint mark. Study the surface closely. That green and rusty brown tone, that untouched original look, that's your signal. Never clean it. Never try to improve it. You will destroy the value instantly. Protect it. Preserve it. And if you believe you found one, get it professionally graded. That step could unlock a level of wealth most people never even imagine. Because this is not fiction. This is real. These coins are out there, hiding, waiting, being spent every single day. And if you thought this was the end, it's not. Because there are still more coins out there, even rarer, even more shocking, and even more valuable than anything you've seen today. And trust me, you do not want to miss what's coming next.